do, go ahead and get into today's session of Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I know. Shut up. Off to a great start, guys. As we go ahead and pick ourselves up where our party last left off, after having a rather intrusive moment, being chased through the darkness and the long coast road that leads along the side of White Ridge down towards Oldham and its sister city, or at least village, shall we say. After managing to alleviate the pains of trying to find a ship by talking to the local guards who had come out to greet them, rather surprisingly in a small ambush, we should say. After once again managing to provoke themselves into another tavern and enjoy once again the sufficiencies of trade and fine liquor, the night was less fortuitous and certainly a bit more nerve-wracking for our, well, shall we say, scared party.
Yeah, fuck that
After involving themselves with what had seemed to be some sort of scarecrow made of metal, cloth, and wood that seemed to have been intent on ensuring that the party had either felt themselves slipping into the beautiful scent or state of fear and schizophrenia. We go ahead and pick ourselves up as we last left off with our party still standing about, as Rowan, now sleeping underneath the rather big bed of Niram, after being...
What did I miss?
You were rudely awoken by a very fucking weird effigy that was just kind of standing over you, and you just went, "Fuck this!" And you traveled back. You saw you saw that Niram was standing in the hall. You said, "I'm sleeping under your bed," and you go in and you went into his room and slept under his bed.
That's fair enough.
I'd say that's pretty in character.
Yeah, either that or I would try to burn down half the building trying to kill the effigy.
With what, thunder waves?
No, heat metal.
Fair enough.
No, heat metal. Fair.
I'm gonna cast heat metal on the wood. That's not how it works. I don't give a shit.
It was cloth, metal, and wood.
Yeah, I know, but also,
Exactly.
anyways.
All
Biggest
right.
power move you can move. Throw a weapon to your enemy. Just go catch and then heat metal the weapon.
Oh, even better, throw a dagger into them.
We have a question. If someone shot an enemy, right? Theoretically, if I, with the crossbow that I might or might not have, shot an enemy, right? Could I heat metal the arrow tip inside the enemy?
No, it has to be something you can see.
Hmm.
You cannot see the arrow tip.
Can I heat metal the arrow tip and then shoot the arrow?
Just shoot iron arrows.
Yeah,
Yeah, that could work.
it's not rocket science, my friend.
Or get a crossbow and shoot freaking iron bolts. Or better yet, iron rods.
I just throw a dart.
Yeah, that works as well. But, shooting iron rods into people sounds kind of gnarly.
Just railgun them.
A certain scientific railgun? Sorry.
Electromagnetic railgun. Hell yeah.
So, but as we currently pick up where we left off, Niram, you and Clyde are currently standing in Clyde's room after he had just pretty much thrown out the effigy that was just laying there against the windowsill by poking it out with a broom and then throwing the broom out and shutting the windowsill.
All right, I think the situation is pretty much handled.
His arm is gonna be going back to his room.
Yeah, Nerum's just gonna, like, once that's done, like, claps his hands, just goes, all right,
Job's done.
job's done. I'm gonna go to sleep.
Job's done.
So I'm fine,
No
right?
problem.
If you need anything, just knock. I'm probably awake anyway. Anyway, see ya. Just leaves the room, goes to his bed. Give me a second. Is Rowan trying to hide?
In the room?
Like under the bed?
I mean, yeah.
Alright.
Stealth mode activates.
Sure, give me a fucking stealth roll. I want to see if Nerum even
Go
notices.
for it. Go for it. Niram, make me a perception check, and then Rowan, go ahead and make me a stealth check.
That is a natural 20 for 20.
That is a 14. Give me a second. Let me add my modifier. So that becomes a 23.
Well, just like he had said, he is asleep under your bed, but as you look down underneath it, you see what looks to be a sack of burlap and blankets that are just kind of stuffed underneath, and you're like, I'm not sure how he could really fit under there. There's not much room.
Just lays down on top, trying to avoid the space where he is. He's just like guessing.
You lay down onto it, and with the hefty amount of flesh and body weight that you have, just due to the natural density of a dragonborn, it's pretty easy to find out just where Rowan is under your bed, and it's uncomfortable until you finally roll over and find a spot where he isn't, and you sleep rather calmly through the rest of the night.
I have a feeling at some point Rowan's just going to end up stealthing into another plane. It's just like, I rolled a 42 to stealth.
And he just left the campaign.
He just
Went to the Feywild, just hung out with people
Yeah,
there.
He just teleports into the shadow plane. It's like, huh.
Just into the shadow falls prey to a Draco Lich because they have true sight. Oops.
Nah. That, non-detection. Non-detection actually circumvents true sights.
Okay, fair enough.
Right. So, as the night slowly takes you and you guys eventually find yourselves falling asleep once again, and day eventually starts dawning as the light of the sun slowly peers through the somewhat cracked and, split apart windowsill in Volus's room. Eventually, all of you awakening as your long rest has been completed. All spell slots, all health, or all hit points, I should say, all hit dice, and everything else is now returned to you. And as you all start slowly shuffling your way down, eventually you are met with a rather, shall we say, crotchety-looking bartender. The tender looks to be the half-orc you had realized and saw the other day. He's currently standing there. Doesn't look like he slept very much. Kind of a grog behind the eyes. You see the tavern keeper, the owner of the establishment, is currently sitting at one of the tables with her feet up, sipping at what looks to be a large mug of coffee. And she looks over at you and kind of gives you a brief, almost a cheers motion, as she looks like she didn't sleep very well either, and she continues to drink.
So, I'm assuming Zorm is also around in that area too.
Yeah, I mean, you guys normally kind of wake up around the same time. You're used to being adventurers, so you guys pretty much have the same kind of innate, biological clock that just kind of says, "Hey, time to wake up."
That clock that
Except
basically tells
Rowan.
you your alarm's about to go off if you wake up.
Yeah, essentially.
Oh, don't remind me. I've done that way too many times.
Sleep schedule is just so fucked. Wait, let me just really quick roll if you woke up before everyone else or after everyone else.
To be fair, if
Okay.
Narum shared my fucking sleep schedule, he would now go to bed.
He rolled he wakes up like an hour before everyone else and just he pesters the locals trying to figure out where the closest bakery is.
Not the bookstore?
White Ridge
Wow.
doesn't seem to have a local bakery. The city, quote unquote, city that it is, it really hasn't seen all that much business in the past few years after it lost prominence with the death of the last king.
Well, people have to get bread somewhere, right?
Yeah, they bake it themselves.
Wow.
Yes, they need to get their bread somewhere. Yes, to call that home.
All right. Question.
Answer.
Oh no.
Quest.
Oh,
Would I
no.
be able, by just peeking through windows, locate someone that has cooked baked goods?
All right, so we have a peeping Tom. Go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna regret this, but I still want to do
You
it.
are. You are. You're just taking some food from some poor house.
We don't know you.
So it's 15.
15.
He's just like trying to, as he's walking down the street, quickly peek into a window without trying to be too suspicious.
Right. As you are going through and kind of peering your way into whatever you can try and find, the fresh smell of the morning bake of bread is coming through. It's pretty prominent throughout the portions of the town that you're in. And I do apologize if I shift to the city and meaning of town here. This
Yeah,
place
okay.
pretty much it became really unpopulated, so it calls itself a city, but it is technically a town now.
Rowan is going to do one of his one of his favorite things. He walks into a back alley. He casts invisibility. He heads back towards the location of the baked goods.
Make me a stealth check at advantage.
Rowan's just gonna pull a pro rogue move.
So,
-1.
so
If he
that
rolled a -1 with all of his bonuses,
so
my
that
name
is
is Charlene.
okay. So that would
And
be a
it's
27.
my point. As you go through and unlock the front door to this person's home, and it gently pushes open, you step very carefully on the wood that makes up these floors. Sneaking your way through the house, the smell of bread is innately present. And as you peer through into the uh, large kitchen slash pretty much living room that this house is comprised of, it only seems to have about actually 3 rooms to this house. It's pretty large, but it only seems to be 1 story. As you get into it, you see the large brick-like, almost oven fire that looks to be comprised of this baker's needs. And you see is there's currently what looks to be about 4 rolls of bread that are currently being baked. And it looks like one of them is just about done. The other 3 are currently still in the process of being, created.
How much is a loaf of bread worth?
2, 3 copper pieces.
All right, so Rowan is going to just take out some cloth and quickly grab the bread, wrap it in, tuck it away.
Go ahead and make me a sleight of hand check because you currently there is somebody in this house.
So that is a 11 roll. That would become a 20.
Okay. So, as you go ahead and take out this cloth, it's rather difficult because you're invisible, and you just like have to search your way through when you pull out the cloth and you wrap it over your hand and grab this piece of bread. You look over and see the small, uh, relatively young-looking woman, maybe about late 20s, early 30s. Uh, it does look like she's used to some hard work around the house, but you do see she's currently what looks to be kneading another piece of bread dough. And just as you go ahead and snag that piece and start walking out,
Wait, not done yet.
Oh,
He is going
okay.
to take out a silver piece and just put it in the place where the bread was before leaving.
You're going to put it in the oven.
Yes.
So you go ahead and put a silver piece in the oven and walk off. Eventually, just as you're walking out, you hear a "Ha!" as the person seems to have been startled by somehow a bread or a loaf of bread turning into a silver piece. But you have secured your loaf of bread, sir.
Victory has been achieved. With that, he is going to leave his. You know what? He is going to walk back out of the door and just slam it shut before actually like running off, while invisible still.
So not only have you done this to this poor woman and replaced this, but as you whack and slam the door shut, you hear another kind of eeping sound as this person has no idea what's going on. It just suddenly as things are going 7 different types of awry.
You've just made this poor woman believe in ghosts.
And you manage to make your way off, and as you take the first piece of bread that snaps and crackles as you pull it apart and you crunch into it, it is gooey, it is moist, and it is, well, fresh bread.
Nice. It has been achieved. There was something that I wanted to do, but I forgot.
As you stroll back to the tavern with everybody else, you currently see as everybody is strewn about, you see the usual breakfast, a couple of pieces of dried meat, some of the fresher ingredients of eggs, and bits and pieces of breakfast bacon have just been passed about.
He'll saunter over and just sit down, just as if nothing had happened.
You all smell the sensation of fresh bread as Rowan walks in, takes one of the chairs beside you, sits down, and just starts pulling apart what looks to be, or what used to have been, a loaf of bread.
Please tell me you paid for that.
Yes.
Insight check.
Make an insight check. And Rowan, go ahead and make me a persuasion check, since you are technically telling the truth.
I mean, I'm not lying. I'm just making it sound
Exactly.
like
That's you. That's why I said persuasion.
Let's see here.
I don't have that much persuasion. That's 20.
I'm trying to scroll up to my my insight right now, but my sheet's being a little slow.
It's alright.
It's decent.
Okay. That's 17.
17. As far as you are aware, he's telling the truth. Like, I mean, he might seem like a piece of shit, but he definitely paid for it, from what you can tell.
Zorm is just gonna
Do
casually
you
eat.
want that piece? He's
Eh,
just gonna like break off a
well, I'm
piece of,
assuming
about the side, about half of this side, and just like offer it over. It's fresh.
I'm assuming while he was gone, Zorm probably would have gotten some breakfast, right?
Anyone else? Brad?
I'll pass. Thank you.
All right, more for me then.
I'm just
And
assuming.
that bread never saw the light of day again.
Well, I would hope not. Bread is only good for so long.
All right. As the morning coffee is kind of distributed to you guys, you can go ahead and, if you just toss out like 2 silver pieces, if somebody wants to pay for that, breakfast will be paid for all of you.
Let me do that real quick then.
Okay, so you go ahead and throw the silver pieces out.
Yep.
As the half-orc is currently delivering out all of these pieces of food that you currently smell being cooked from the kitchen, he walks out. What with all the yelling yesterday? You kept me up for damn near half the midnight.
Well, I would very much say that there was a bit of a break-in with a bandit. We managed to chase him out, but yeah,
A
he
bandit here in the city? I highly doubt it. Turns around and just starts heavily walking off.
Just in a quiet whisper, just Naren going, "You're not the only one who missed sleep."
You see Rowan just like with an expression as if challenge accepted.
Oh no.
And then Velas proceeds to try to. Nah, I'm kidding. Um. All right. Well, we should probably go ahead and try to charter a ship. Start heading our way. Also, see what we can buy or get from here. Not often we leave so far from Port Ivy.
All right. Well, you guys do that. I will be shopping. Do you guys need anything?
I don't think I need anything at the moment.
I'll take that as a no. All right then. He's just going to stand up and leave the tavern, looking for whatever seems to be a wealthy-looking house.
You're looking for a wealthy-looking what?
A wealthy-looking house.
Make me an investigation check.
That shit show's going on. I guess Velas just does what he planned to and try to get us a ship.
That will be a 19.
19.
Why is the only things I roll good for just my kleptomaniac tendencies?
The dice know.
As you go over and start searching through the portions of the city, or at least the portions that are still populated, you do manage to find a relatively lofty-looking house. Looks to be somewhat of a small 2 stories. But it does look to be made of a very fine timber and adobe.
He's going to try to, as casually as possible, wander around the building, checking out a few stores here and there, like on opposite sides of it, and just try to locate where he could find entrances, windows, whatever really.
That is easy enough to do. There are a couple of windows on this building. Some of them are on the first floor, so they are accessible to you. But this area that the house is in is frequently patrolled by guards. And you see that these are not just like normal city guard, these guys are actual knights.
Are any of the windows open? Like-
Not that you can see.
What about in the second story?
Second story, yes, one of them is open. How to become a menace to society in 30 minutes.
It's easy.
I like
Be
how
himbo, do crimes.
here's what I find funny is just Rowan's way of
I'm trying to
shopping.
think right now. How could I do this?
Rowan's way of shopping is like, who is a rich person I can rob?
Do I see anyone or anything through the first story windows?
Make me a perception check, as you are going to case the joint.
God damn it! That's
Okay, I think I need to I think I need to clarify something. Here be in
That's
D&D, robbing is only a crime if you alleviate from the poor. If you rob the rich, that's just called being a good entrepreneur.
So that's 17.
17. From what you can tell, no. There is not much that you can see through these thick boarded windows.
Might the building be in any way connected to a back alley?
No, because remember, as I said, the city itself is actually pretty widely spaced out. Like the city itself is very widely built, not tall. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, how to rob a 2-story foot tall building in middle of the day with guards patrolling is now the quest that has appeared in Rowan's head.
As you are
Right.
currently standing there and you're looking about, you're currently keeping an eye out. You there!
Yes?
Why are you loitering?
I'm just admiring the scenery. It's quite a peculiar city, I must say.
I kind of throw a glance over and you do see some of the knights are currently looking at you. There's only 2 of them, and you don't really see much through the thick metal casements that they wear. But they do not have their weapons drawn, and you do see that they both have their shield is currently at their back.
He's just Rowan's just gonna the architecture it's marvelous, right? Most cities they tend to build just upwards, fitting as many citizens as possible. But you've done something beautiful here. It's quite it's so spacious. The streets they're a pleasure to walk around on.
They look at each other, look back at you. Keep yourself moving. You look
Freaking hell.
suspicious going around staring at individuals' houses.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't make us come back.
No, don't worry about me. If you don't mind, I just want to admire the architecture for just a few minutes longer, right? And then I'll be on my way. Is that fine?
It's preferred not. Be on your way.
All right. No need to make a hissy fit about it. And yeah, he's going to slowly walk away.
So you slowly walk away. The knights do keep an eye on you for about a few moments after you leave, and then they continue on their patrol.
Yeah, it's not worth the risk. The city doesn't look too well off, anyways. So yeah, he's just going to head back to the rest.
All right. Heading back to the tavern, you all come down and you actually see as Clyde is currently shuffling down the stairs, and it looks like he is carrying everything he owns. And as he gets down, he looks at all of you. All right.
What's wrong, Clyde? You see me
I
go.
got the sleep I needed because of what that thing did last night, and now I'm ready to go. Get your shit. Let's leave, please.
By the way, whatever happened to that totem? Or
I don't care. I don't want to know. Let's just go.
Hey Norm, could I have
Fine.
my puck back?
The one thing I would say is maybe if we get rid of the dang thing, it might stop following.
Well, we already did get rid of it, didn't we?
I'm not talking about placing it somewhere down.
Oh.
I mean, like maybe try dispelling it or destroying it. Something that will.
I would have tried to identify it last night, but it kept on moving around. And then you guys tossed it out the window.
I didn't toss it out the window. What do you mean?
It was tossed out a window, so
Well, no doubt if we encounter it again, we'll have to figure out what to do with it.
for now, let's just
Let's go
can't do
charter.
anything if we can't find it.
Right. I'm going to go charter or get us a ship so we can sail off. What you guys, at least, I hope you guys can at least do, is find some place to hold the cart for at least a couple of days.
Hold
We'll
on,
be
hold on a minute here. Like, this is just a out of character thing. I thought we
Yeah,
had
shouldn't be too hard. It's just a card to watch.
no, like out of character here. I thought before we left we had said that we were gonna be using Rowan's long strider to
Oh.
increase the how fast we were going.
All right.
that was
Yeah.
all, that was till White Ridge, and then we were taking the ship to Black Hollows.
Wait.
Sorry,
Just
again,
out of
like I'm
character. Are
just
we not in
confused.
White Ridge right now?
We are in
You
White
are.
Ridge.
Okay, hold up. Let me just do
Yeah.
this.
Like,
We are
I thought
here.
I've made it a little bit clear. You guys are currently in White Ridge.
Yes, we are currently here, and we had to go to Rivermouth, right?
No, Rivermouth was the backup destination that you guys could have gone if you wanted to teleport back.
We have
Oh,
to go to
okay.
the Amber Forest.
Okay, and so it's right over here. The
Mhm.
quickest way for us to get there without going this whole freaking trail is through the King's
The
Pathway.
Causeway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
toward Black
Causeway
Hollow.
Passage.
Sorry that I'm bringing this up now. It's just I thought that
We
we were saying that we were going to be using Rowan's long strider to
You guys already did.
our
That's
all
how
the
you
way
we
guys
there.
made it from Port
Yeah.
Ivy to White Ridge in
No,
just
like,
under 2 weeks.
yeah, but like what I was saying is like all the way to the top area there. But I could I've been wrong before, so yeah. If
so
if that's what the plan was originally, then okay. I just my
so
brain is.
Zor, can I
Mhm.
please trust you to at least find some stable to at least hold our carts for a few days, maybe even a week or
I
two at most,
I
so I
don't
can
think
go.
that is a wise idea to leave it to me, given to what we were told yesterday.
What were we told yesterday? You just see that.
My kind aren't really well trusted here.
Fine, I will find a place for it then. Just
I'm just trying to think of the interest of the group.
I have,
I'm aware.
for
Just
some reason, I've not been able to hear Zornum this entire time.
Hmm?
You
I
might
will
just need to
handle it.
turn him up a bit.
I
No, no, no.
will.
Am I just really quiet right now?
No. It's just that, like, for some reason, my Discord just you weren't even muted. It's just I couldn't hear you at all.
Discord, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Discord.
Please give it up for technical
Yay!
difficulties.
Anyways,
Fucking-
I will handle at least trying to find a way to stow the cart and try to get us a decent ship to head to the Hollows as quick as possible. Just please do not get yourselves killed.
Yeah.
Can't try, can't promise.
I guess me and Niram will try and stay out of trouble because it seems that might be the main issue that we will have here.
Right. Actually, see if there's any shops around. We might as well get some. Might as well get ourselves geared. Meanwhile,
What
I wish
gear
you
do we
guys
need?
maybe some supplies. See if there's an alchemist shop. And he kind of just tosses Zoram actually a small pouch containing 20 gold pieces. If you find one around, just get some herbs along the way. Try to see if you can purchase some herbs. That way we can make some more of those bottles that I've been making.
I'll
Sound
see
fair?
what I'll see what I can come up with.
All right. And with that, Volus is gonna take the cart. and start heading to the port to try to find a place to stow it.
Zorm's gonna look for an alchemist shop. If Nair wants to tag along, he can.
He will.
Hey, Niram, can I have my puck back?
He will hand the puck back. I was actually about to say that, but then everyone else started going on, so I didn't want to interrupt. He would have handed it back at the start of the conversation, basically.
So, as you all start departing and gathering your things, I will go ahead and have Zorn go ahead and make me an investigation check as you and Niram head out to try and find something. I will say, Volus, as you are going to go out, I mean, you have semblance of an idea where the small docks are, that, or at least the attached fishing area that Whitebridge has. So you'd be able to make your way down there. It's going to be taking you a lot longer than it usually should because it's your first time there, but you'll be able to make it. Is there anything else that anybody wants to do? Or are you guys just going to head off?
Uh, I'm good to head off.
I think we're
Okay.
all good.
I think just due to the time constraint that we're under, we're trying to move quickly.
All right. So, go ahead and make me your checks, gentlemen.
I rolled a 20.
Okay. Phyllis, I need you to go ahead. And
Never mind.
what'd you get?
What did you say? I got a 17.
Okay. So, Zoram, you are able to find a small alchemist shop, and by small, I mean essentially it's a traveling cart that has a small kind of semi-permanent stand that's been set up.
Okay.
You currently see a crotchety old-looking man with kind of the spiky, weird, wizened hair. Looks like he's seen one too many explosions from too many failed potions.
So I'm just gonna approach.
Uh,
Just gonna kind of look over his stock.
What can I do for you, lizard man?
I'm interested in some alchemical ingredients.
What are they to you?
Experimental or herbal. Doesn't matter.
Oh, what are you looking for in the way of supplies there, lizard man?
Just looking to see if there's any herbs that are here, any potions. Just wanting to take a look at your
Fresh
stock.
out. Fresh out. Sorry.
I see. What about ingredients, though?
I believe I sold out of those yesterday, too. Sorry.
I see. Well, if you do happen to come across any again, I might drop by again and pay a pretty coin for it.
As you're looking over, you do see he does have stuff on him.
Yeah.
His cart is full, and he does have things to him. Just letting you know.
Yeah. Then also, what about those? What are those?
Oh, those? Those aren't mine.
Might you be able to direct me on who?
Sorry. I don't know exactly who owns it.
And as he's saying this, Zorm's gonna lean in a little bit more and kind of look at him right in the eye, and just to kind of see if he will start seeming a little bit nervous about his presence or not.
Sure, go ahead and make me an intimidation check.
I'm gonna give you the stink eye.
Intimidation. What is my intimidation, actually?
It's just a 20.
Charisma.
Yeah, but I was more wondering about the modifier because I'm not sure if I'm proficient in it.
I don't believe you are.
No, I am not, but that puts me at an 18.
Okay, at an 18. You just lean in and stare at him. Kind of backs away a little bit, just kind of starts pulling himself away. He doesn't step away, but he does kind of pull himself away. What? You got a problem with me, lizard man?
No, but it seems that you people might have a problem with me.
Not sure what you're talking about.
I might look like a lizard, but I don't have the brain of one.
Well, that's nice to know.
Listen, I am willing to do business, but you seem to be unable to. So,
As I told you, fresh out. Sorry, can't help you.
is he lying? Like, am
Make
I
an
able
insight
to
check.
tell? Am I able to tell that he's lying?
Make an insight check.
I could smell the bullshit from 3 miles away.
Yeah, like I'm trying to make sure though.
Do you taste that?
Do you taste that? I taste some bullshit.
I don't know
You
why
can
you would
practically taste the
but
racism.
alright.
That's 19 on my insight.
Gladly.
This guy's lying through his teeth, and he's not even being like chalant about it. He's lying to your face, and he doesn't even care. He's getting a little bit kind of perturbed that you just kind of leaned in and you're using a bit more of your larger figure. It could be construed if some of the guards came by that something might happen, but at the moment you're in a spall of good luck.
I know that you're full of shit.
Ah, well,
You know that you're full
that's
of shit.
hmm,
And
that's certainly
let
nice
me
to
tell
call a
you-
man.
Let me tell you this right now. I was willing to pay maybe about 10 gold for some of your supplies. As a good faith. As there's a reason why we're called Dragonborn.
Dragon, scale, tail, no tail. You're all lizards.
There's a big difference between a lizard folk and a dragon. You should remember that.
I'll do my best to do so, just for you. Now, since you don't have any business to be done here, think you should stop harassing me before I have to call the guards.
Okay. And Zorm will pick up the pouch of about his own pouch of about 300 gold pieces and just shake it at him, and then put it away and start walking away.
He seems unfazed. As you walk away and turning about with Niram, you just kind of stand there watching this whole thing go on.
That dude was real insensitive.
Zorm's going to speak to him in Draconic. This place does not sit well with me.
I mean, yeah, rampant racism against Dragonborn is kind of shitty. He responds in Draconic, of course. Like, he wouldn't say that out loud in common.
We'll have to leave sooner rather than later. I'd much rather not stick around here and find out what they'll do.
Yeah, me neither. Guess what? This place is giving me the creeps. First that shit in the inn, and the, like, dude at the bar who doesn't like us, and now this asshole.
Well, to their own credit, they were attacked by Dragonborn and potentially lizard folk, from what I'm understanding.
Yeah, but like, you remember that time when we had to fight that like weird gnoll thing?
Yep.
Just because that dude's evil doesn't mean that all gnolls are evil.
Yeah. Well, I'm not here to change their opinion. But
Yeah, but like at some point, they gotta realize. Stigmatizing Dragonborn just because some attacked your fucking town is... doesn't sit well with me.
He'll be fine. If he goes out of business, he'll be fine. It's his choice.
It's just like a shrug, I guess. That just moves on.
This is why I did not want to have been put into responsibility for any of our necessary tasks.
Yeah, I get it.
Let's go find Vientis and
Who the fuck is Vientis?
Volus. Let's find Volus and
calling him by his draconic name. Don't worry, just calling him by his draconic name.
Let's Volus and find just let him know what happened, and we'll get out of here.
All right. So,
Well,
Volus,
yes.
go ahead and shift over to you. As you are currently finding your way down the kind of well-trodden path that leads itself down to the small coast that has managed to afford itself this city's come town into an ability of some sort of small harbor. As you go ahead and check into it, you actually look by and see, even though it's classified itself as a harbor or so from what you've heard, there are the small offerings of a couple of ships nearby. Of the ships you see, there are maybe about 6 or 7 fishing boats, and there is one actual ship that is currently anchored off the side, and you currently see it's maybe about 900 yards off the coast, and it's currently at anchor there, and there's a small ferry going in between.
I guess he goes over to investigate, see if, and try to start talking with anybody if they know any captains are heading towards the Black Hollow.
As you walk and make your way down, you do see that the small harbor they have is actually covered with what looks to be a relatively tall and thick palisade. Not the same stone walls defending White Ridge, but you see that this definitely has a little bit more modernity to it. It seems this thing was put up a little bit more recently than last. You see the leather hides that have been dried out and smattered with bits of dried mud that have turned into adobe that cover this wooden palisade to offer it extra protection. And you pass by a group of guards, a couple of knights. Most of them look to have their armors currently set off to the side, dangling off of bits and pieces of their other equipment. See, 2 of them are currently playing a game of what looks to be throwing dice around. And one of them is currently still at ends. He's smoking a small pipe while leaning against the entrance. Go on in. We're not stopping you.
Morning. Say, do you happen to know of any captains who have the route to the Black Hollows by chance?
Ah, you're that lizard man's friend. Hmm. Yeah, captain came down and told us you'd probably be coming down here. He blew out a little bit of smoke from his pipe. uh, I'm not sure about what ships are currently going north through the causeway, but I believe the newest import we have here from one of Falkenberg's ships, they might be heading north sometime.
Well, can you put me in that direction? You're a great help.
If you want to go talk to their emissary, you can. He's in there. As I said, you can go in. There ain't much information we know.
Well, thank you for the tip. And he kind of just like flicks over a gold piece towards the one that was speaking before going in.
And he
Or
flick it
in
over and
turn.
he catches it and kind of looks a bit surprised at it. And he tucks it away. You walk in and the sense of change is immediately apparent. You see the small buildings that dot the surface around here that are built along the hillside that seems to slope down into the harbor. It feels very much so like a small harbor village that has just been grown from its own position. You see large catches of fish that are currently dangling from small to large nets, providing a very unpleasant smell to one who is unused to it. You see bits and pieces of crab that are currently being pulled apart, and you see as a couple of men and women are currently pulling apart pieces of crab and throwing them into what looks to be some sort of a boiling pot. As you walk by, you actually come to a small, squat building made entirely of straw and wood. And you currently see a relatively small halfling, and it's currently sitting behind a desk. The desk itself is not human sized, it's halfling sized. So as you walk in, you immediately kind of have to look down at him. He looks up at you and kind of fixes the small monocle he has. Something we can help you with?
Yes, I'm looking for a ship to charter. One preferably heading north to the King's Castle, from the King's Castaway Passage to preferably the Black Hollows. Is there any that are at least able to head towards the north? Can I just look?
It's not me you should be speaking to, it's him. Grabs the pencil he's been using, or the what looks to be some sort of a pencil. He actually points over towards another man. You see he looks to be relatively finely dressed, and you see he is actually wearing familiar colors, gray and white. Or gray, white, and a royal blue. And he turns around. Huh? Yes, you were speaking to me, I believe. Something the
Ah,
matter? Well, I believe you require transportation.
yes, me and some of my companions do need to have a round trip from north to the north to at least here. So he is asking about like a round trip.
You can see him giving a slight pondering thought to it. Well, not much goes through the causeway this time of month, but we might be able to work something out for you. What exactly do you have in mind? You can currently see the man is wearing a very fine tunic, a ship's captain's tunic. And you also see there are some almost what look to be insignia that are currently denoted to him. You see there are bits and pieces of lace work and almost patchwork that seems to be lacing its way through as well. If you are requiring passage, we will have to charge you for it. Apologies, we cannot give it to you for free. We are, well, a paid venture after all.
Thought it would be a free passage either way. We were thinking of at least having some. Hold up, let me redo it. Well, yes, me and I'd say about there's around like 5 or 6 of us, right?
Yeah, just about.
Around for 5 or 6 people, just for a very swift way to get to the Black Hollows and back.
I'll be right back.
Oh. So whatever is the fastest ship you have as well would be preferable.
As this is being discussed, mm, well, certainly, I mean, we'd be able to give you some passageway. The compatriots you have don't seem to have much in the way of, well, they won't take up too much room. I believe we might be able to accommodate them as well as you. The passage itself, especially around this time, is rather treacherous, especially with the gathering of the south. But there might be something of use we might be able to gather for you. Say we could charge you about 12 gold pieces.
12 gold. I'd say that's actually the important question. Is this for a round trip or just for a one way?
I would say, well, seeming the type you look, I would say round trip.
Very well then. We'll take it. I believe that we can at least accommodate 12 pieces.
Well, if you can't, well, I believe we don't have a deal.
As he says that, he takes a moment from his bag. What looked like one coins, but then into his fingers, it's just several coins. Well then, how fast can you set sail? Is the real question.
Well, we still have supplies we must load, and there are a couple of small agreements that must be tended. But I believe about 3 or so days, and you should be able to take off.
All right then. Then I'd say we have ourselves a deal.
Very well. I look forward to seeing you when you arrive at my ship to be a ferry across. With payment in hand, of course.
Naturally. Actually, what does your ship look like for when the day does come where we will be chartered over?
It's the only ship we have here.
Fair enough. Well then, I would not pass that any more of your time. Thank you, for at least this. I shall now go inform my friends, so take care.
To you as well, sir.
And then Volus then goes to look for the rest of the party.
Okay. So, heading out. You make your way back up to the city. The guards at the gate do allow you in. The gates are open. You make your way back and do find a rather upset and perturbed looking Zoram and Niram.
Rowan also looks quite annoyed.
What happened with everyone here?
And Zorm's gonna toss back his bag of 20 gold. Sold out to Dragonborns.
Do you want me to try?
You could see this look as he catches the gold, looks at it, looks at Zoram. You just see this look of annoyance. Where?
It's the only one that's in town.
Show me.
Okay. And Zorn's gonna kind of he's going to lead him to it, but point it out from a distance so that way he's not seen.
Okay, go ahead. I'll just say make me a general dexterity check. See if you're able to just keep out of, like, eye shot here.
Dexterity. That's a dirty 20.
You're able to keep yourself composed enough to actually stay just at enough of a distance to point him out and scurry away. As Volus, you go ahead and march your way over to this small, semi-permanent stand that this merchant has managed to make himself.
Rowan is going to go along as well.
Okay. The old man kind of looks at you. Ah, yes, what can I do for you?
Yes, I've sent some compatriots here earlier to please procure some herbs for me for some alchemy. Heard that they were sold out to Dragonborns, were they not? Kind of just looks at this skeptically at this.
He looks at you and the kind of little realization comes across. Ah. Yes, we were sold out.
Kind of looks off to the side to see if there's herbs.
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff there. His cart's full of stuff. I mean, it does look like he's had some business, but most of the stuff still looks like it's still there.
So you're saying that this stuff does not belong to you?
Ah. Well, it does belong to me.
And so you're just refusing to sell it?
Naturally. Yes.
How well has your business been going? From one alchemist to another. And as he's saying
My
this,
business is my own.
oh come on, I'm just
My business is my own.
as he
But
says
if you
this,
continue to harass me, I'll call the guard.
I'm going to cast a very high level charm person.
Okay. Let's see what happens. No, that's a fail.
It is just
The
because it
the
is.
aggression that was once kind of prevalent on his face kind of washes away for a moment. Uh, apologies there. I seem to have gotten ahead of myself.
Let me tell you one thing. What is actually? Is he like a halfling? Is he a? Is he
No, he's
full?
human. He's an old human.
Let me just be honest. To judge one by only their race is how business will only continue to suffer. I'm fully aware about the whole situation about the lizard folk and dragonkin that have, well, plagued this land. But that does not mean that every one of them is a bandit.
I have no qualms with lizard men. Just the dragons.
Be that as it may, not everyone is a thief. But
Huh. Until they give me a reason not to, I shall treat them all the same.
we just make a little bit of a trade. You at least can get some goods from it, and he kind of just like twirls a gold coin in his hand. Sides.
Make me a persuasion check at advantage.
Okay. At first, I got a 22, but with advantage, I got a natural 20 plus 6, so 26.
He reaches out and like takes the coin. Oh. Do my best to keep open-minded. For now.
Thank you. So, shall we bargain some trade? I do have some potions I do wish to make.
You see that there is stuff going on behind his eyes, and he's trying to say no, but you do see he nods. I believe there can be some business here. Yes. I'm happy to sell to you, my friend.
It kind of looks over. Does he see any herbs that he's familiar with?
Go ahead and make me make me a nature check here.
21.
Yeah, there are plenty of things you actually recognize and see here.
Kind of looks over, and tries to do some math in his head before looking over to the old human. How much would it be overall, your entire stock that's displayed here? Out of curiosity.
For my entire stock, 37 gold.
Rowan is going to like step in there, look at the plants for a second, and just what do you mean 37 gold? This isn't worth 37 gold. And with that, he's going to cast distort value onto the herbs, trying to make them look like just brown spots on places, bug bites, whatever he can do, just make the herbs look less of less quality.
Wow.
This merchant knows his
Whoa.
wares.
Wow.
And you, sir, are a liar and a scammer. I'll have no business with you.
Speaking.
Rowan.
Yes.
Enough.
I don't think so.
He
Oh my
then
goodness.
takes
This is why we can't have nice things.
he takes the moment, opens his bag, and he places down the 37 coins. We'll take it.
He looks back to you, and immediately you actually see the change in face as the magic is currently working its way through and calming him through his own perception of you. Thank you kindly for your patronage and your business.
Into his head and casually walk over, starts at least storing.
There is way too much here for you to store in your bag alone.
Then
Like you would
I
either
did not
need
put
a bag of holding or just take the cart itself.
I guess I will just
nearby though.
then you know what? Since I haven't found a place to put the card away, using that, to just start storing it into the cart.
All right, so you have somebody bring the cart over, you start storing it, and eventually the magic does abruptly end.
It doesn't last for an hour. I will say that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it takes you guys a little while to actually load this stuff from cart to cart. And eventually you do look over back to him, and you see he is standing there furiously fuming. But he just looks down at the gold. And he's not sure what happened there, but he knew it was something underhanded. But he did make a load of money today.
The quite the profit of both.
He's still upset.
You know what? I knocked out two birds with one stone. I did not meant for him to be happy. I just wanted my herbs.
Herbs.
So, as this happens, and everything is eventually loaded on, I will say for the sake of brevity and time, the 3 days do pass by, and throughout all of those 3 days, the familiar sound of scratching, knocking, whispered voices and tongues, and the sight of some sort of scarecrow-like effigy that stands and hangs outside your window. It seems to be reoccurring. It does not seem to leave you.
Could
So
Rowan at some point during this cast heat metal onto the scarecrow?
You cast heat metal onto it, and you watch as bits and pieces of it start melting off, and it just stands there.
He's just gonna like squint at it and do the gesture where you just like, you know, the 2-finger gesture towards like I'm watching you.
Yeah.
Quick thing here. So for those 3 days, Zorm is probably going to spend most of his time in his room and
Go ahead and make me 3 separate Arcana checks.
yeah,
And with that,
also for Vientus, Zorm will offer.
You know,
to
his draconic name's getting really familiar
Yeah,
to you, isn't it?
Volus, sorry. He's the one that I'm most familiar with. I'm sorry. Too many V names.
How do you think I fucking feel? Farah, Topaz, fucking... Never mind. It's all right.
Tenzik.
I'm good.
Stop,
I'm
Art.
calm. I'm fine. I'm calm.
But for
I'm calm.
Volus, Zorm will offer to store all of his herbs in his bag of holding.
In the 3 days, Rowan is also going to, I'm guessing just at night, sneaking out of the room and trying to pickpocket literally anything he can. Without actually trying to steal anything. He just wants to, like, you know, get a little bit of practice in.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Do I make
for
3
my
or just
3
1?
I will say go ahead and make me 2.
For
Go ahead and make me
my
2 sleight of hand checks.
Let's say
Or-
17 plus 9, which is 26. The second one is a 6 plus 9, so 13.
I will say, outside of the entrance, which is 4 hours per day, I want to spend most of the time just creating as many potions as I can with the plethora of herbs, just making as many as possible.
Okay, so you're gonna spend all 3 days just focusing on potions.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and make me 3 separate Arcana checks, and then make me 3 separate survival checks.
Okay. Oh, I just realized that plus 8. I'm like, God.
Do you want me to read out my?
Yes. What did you get for your rolls?
Okay, so first day I rolled a 19.
Okay.
Second day is a dirty 20.
Mm-hmm.
And third day is a natural 20. Which
So
is 28.
I understand. I believe it or not, I actually know your bonuses.
Okay.
I've gotten used to you saying, "Hey, this is what I have." But yes, over the course of these 3 uninterrupted days, it is more than easily done that you finish your imbuement.
Okay. So now I have a repeating shot crossbow.
But once again, the crossbow itself still can only load 1 shot itself. So the repeating shot would just simply allow it another shot if you have a secondary action to attack.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just keeping you aware as to the limitations of it, and for those of the party members who are not aware.
I have read through the
No, I understand that you have. I hear that. I'm just saying for everybody else.
Okay.
If you give it to anybody else so they somewhat understand what they have.
Right.
Because you only have 1 action. So, as we go ahead and continue with that, Volus, what did you get for your check, sir?
For my 3 checks, for my 6 checks actually, for the 3 Arcana, I've gotten a 28, a 25, and a 21.
Okay.
For the survival, you said?
Yep.
I had gotten a 19, a 17, and a 22, which is my 20.
Okay. So, as this goes along, and you spend most of your time dealing with the bits and bobs of the glassware and the normal creation process that normally partakes and partitions through that of the potion. You are able to make 5 health potions. These are just normal healing potions. So it is. One second, allow me to pull this up for you. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. So, God damn it. These are just potions of healing. They are 2d4 plus 2 for health regeneration.
2d4 plus 2.
All right. And you are also able to make, due to the nature of what herbs you were able to get, you are also able to make 2 potions of haste and 1 potion of water breathing.
Now, my biggest question is this used all the herbs, or is there still just some left that he hasn't used?
Are there any herbs left? I mean, yeah, there are some herbs left, some that you have no idea what are. But yeah, I mean, there are some of them.
Okay, I just want to know if I still had something left. So, all right, I guess that's stuff that he's gonna have to test with later. But um, he seemed very happy putting each bottle of these intricate potions away into his satchel.
Okay. So, as that continues and goes about, once again, throughout the 3 days, it is very prevalent that something doesn't like you. And now the visage is even worse, as bits and pieces of the torso and face have melted off and created a fucking demonic view. You're not sure how it melted, but it looks even fucking worse.
Was that me?
Yes. Yes, it was.
Nice.
You made something that was horrible into something that is now terrifying.
Damn it, Rowan!
And I need all of you, so that means Clyde included, to make me a wisdom saving throw over the course of these 3 days. So just one.
Oh boy, my favorite.
I got 17.
Okay.
Do I have a saving throw modifier? No, of course not. Thank you, Barbarian.
15 for me.
I mean,
That's a 13 for Nerem.
So I rolled a 16 minus 1.
On the very last night, when you guys are just about ready to head off and the ship is ready to start departing, you find yourselves unable to sleep. And you suffer very, very rapidly from this.
Do I know this? Would I know that this is some form of not?
Make me I will say make me a straight intelligence check.
Ah, fuck! Hold on, my dice fell.
oh god, Discord's not working again.
Okay. 11.
Okay. All you can really think about is every time you've been trying to fall asleep, you've been having nightmares of like some sort of bird. You're not sure if it's a crow or a raven, but every time it just kind of shows up as you're about to sleep. And just as you're about to fall asleep, you hear it scream in your ear, and it just kind of jolts you back awake. And you look around, and there's nothing in your room.
Could I try to cast sleep on myself?
This will be difficult. Make me an Arcana check. See if you put yourself into a coma or not.
And from that, we never hear of him again.
We never
All
hear
right, that's an
Rowan
18.
again.
18 plus minus plus wait plus 1.
Go ahead and roll your sleep damage.
1.
Alright, where is my dice?
You know what would have been
Wait,
funny
fuck,
if
wrong
he
dice.
failed so badly that he ended up knocking the crow demon unconscious.
May I upcast this to actually get more dice? Because I know my hit points. I'm not gonna get enough
Let
unless
the
I
boys
have
sleep.
This is going to be dangerous. I'm
Alright,
going to
so-
stress that this is going to be dangerous. You have
know
a
what?
chance to pretty much take yourself out.
Right, let me get a bunch of
Commit
I'm gonna cast this at 3rd level.
Okay.
Oh gosh!
Michael,
Oh,
He's just 1 HP short.
no. It'll be so funny if he's 1 HP short.
Let me. So that's 7
Don't
plus
worry,
8.
we'll have someone.
Okay, hold on. Can someone like pull out a calculator or something? Numbers are not my thing.
Okay. Give me the numbers that you've rolled already.
Alright, so 7 plus 8
Okay.
plus 4
Mm-hmm.
plus 4
Mm-hmm.
plus 7
Alright.
plus 4
Okay.
plus 8
Alright.
plus 7
Mm-hmm.
plus 2. That's it.
We are at 51 hit points.
Damn, I was 2 off. I was 2 off. I was going through it in my head.
What's
Wait,
Rowan's
oh wait, no,
That's
it tells me it's 51 here.
Oh my god.
What's
Oh
Rowan's
my
HP?
god! You made him do math, and then you realize, oh shit, I can do it myself.
You can just highlight them all, and it tells you.
Oh my god! Just slow clap
Hey,
to the
hey,
man that's
none
about
of
to
you
get
knew
it.
this. None of you knew this.
Yes, because
I
none
did.
of us. Well, I don't use tabletop sim dice. I have real dice, and I wanna
I
hear the
knew
math
this.
rocks go click clack.
Don't
just
chastise me for it then.
So, as you decide to put yourself to sleep magically, Rowan does not wake up in the morning.
Yay.
And this continues.
Someone's gonna check on him.
Why do I have the feeling that for the first hour, no one would mind? Like he's asleep. Sometimes he does that. And like 3 hours later, well, he still hasn't gotten up. That's weird.
Zoran's gonna check on him.
You check on him after about maybe 6 or 7 hours. You go in and you find him. He is completely unconscious. Like he's not moving. He's breathing very softly. It is very quiet.
You can't. Rose just kind of follows, and he just looked at him, just like, what the fuck?
Can I cast detect magic?
Already being an innately magical being with being a magic caster, you do detect magic, yes.
Can I tell what kind of magic it is?
Hold on, I'll
I can
tell
see
you. Give me
aura
a second.
and stuff.
It's
Okay.
being
enchantment.
that it is enchantment magic.
Like it's on him.
Yeah, I mean, there is enchantment magic and bardic magic that just seems to be stemming from him.
You know, I got this. Wells just walks up and gives Rowan, a giant slap across the face.
And it's a resounding smack. Like this thing fucking echoes. It's like he is out fucking cold.
Oh no!
And he just gives like one more slap for good measure.
Another.
The second one is personal.
The first one is personal. The second one is professional.
The first one for business, the second one for
The next
pleasure.
one's just a drop kick. No, I'm kidding.
No, first
But
one for business, second for pleasure.
as this is going on, Volus, you realize this is the day you guys have to leave. Like this is the day you chartered your ship for.
Okay, you know what?
Um,
He kind of just
so
thinks about it.
Zorm is going to speak up to him and say, he does have enchantment magic on him.
And so he looks at him, says, "I see." You see his hand glow, and the next time he slaps him, he's casting Dispel Magic.
Dispel magic slap.
You smack him once again. Make me a contested Arcana check. This is against Poppy's spell save DC on Rowan.
What's
Is dispel magic?
My spell save DC is, just roll. I'll tell you after.
Okay, here's my question: does a 27 beat it?
Yes.
So as you pull your hand up and you kind of circle it around in one of those old cartoon almost in those old cartoon machinations, and you just spin your hand around, bring it out, and whack! And just as your hand connects with him, and you see the magic immediately enter in to the sleeping form of Rowan, you immediately see a small bruise starting to form at how hard you've just been smacking the shit out of him. And Rowan, you find yourself like in a just like being woken up by somebody just punching you in the face. You are currently like, fuck, what was that for?
The fuck, man?
Dumbass, did you use magic to put yourself to sleep?
Yes.
People who do that don't usually wake up ever again.
You
Were you
actually
trying
don't.
to kill yourself?
Good
This
for
is
them. I'm
this is
built
God,
different.
Noah. This is God, Noah. You wouldn't actually know that, Volis.
Oh, okay.
I'm built different. I'm sorry, just that got me.
Sucks for them. I'm built different.
Road, just I'm built different.
People don't normally wake up from this. Well, I'm just built different.
It's
You know what?
too
That's a
bad for
quote.
them.
That's
You
a
are built
quote.
different.
That's a quote.
He kind of looks at him. It's just like, we're going to be late from the ship because you decided to oversleep.
I mean, could you just brought me there?
I mean, we could have
I'm not
just,
bragging.
actually, you know what? That's a good point. We could have just kept him asleep, and then we would have had a quiet ship ride.
Exactly. You guys are really fucking idiots.
We're a bunch of morons.
Nerv just comes upstairs. What's all the ruckus about?
These guys are idiots. That's what they're.
Oh,
You currently see Rowan has a large handprint that's just like pockmarked into the side of his face.
Interesting method to wake him up.
So,
yes, very effective by the looks of it. Anyways, we should start going, or else we're gonna miss the ship.
let's get going. Otherwise, yeah. Hopefully they don't mind. Did you tell them that you had?
They seemed well aware.
Okay.
All right. Well, enough dilly dally. Let's go. Rowan's just gonna jump out, grab his stuff, and leave as if nothing had happened.
Rowan walks out as if nothing happened, kind of pulling his pants up, straightening his blouse, and walking out.
That is my favorite quote so far.
People don't wake up from that. Well, I'm just built different.
That didn't even hurt. I'm built different.
But
Hey, listen. This, if you take your attention to No Mic real quick, this is essentially what Volus did.
essentially, yeah, essentially, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
For those of you in the chat, we do apologize. We're posting GIFs and memes in the Discord channel that we use, and this one was pretty fucking S tier. So beautiful.
Let me just describe the meme. Someone in a suit is running up a table and giving someone else a flying fucking slap,
You have to
knocking them
remember,
out.
he's running up
No.
the table
It's not
and
just
jump
it's not just a simple slap. He's a bitch slap.
It's
There's
like
a difference.
It's like a full wind up. 180 degrees of arm rotation on that.
More, actually.
The
Dude throws so much force into it, he fucking flops himself.
Yeah, that's a good old
Fucking
270-degree rotation.
He hits the bench.
That's a 270-degree rotation.
Moving on. As you guys drag yourselves back down to the docks with the help of Volus.
No one in the inn was questioning the sound of slaps.
Oh no, not really. No.
I
There's
mean,
no,
I
there's no
would say in an inn there's worse reasons why you can repeatedly hear the sound of slapping.
Yeah, that is true. They don't question the sound of clapping in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
Moving on.
Fuck, I forgot the Kama Sutra.
Good.
Anyways, off to the ship. God.
Like, we're 3 days out on sea. Rowan just turns around. Damn it!
Ugh.
So, eventually making your way back down, you do see that the ship itself, it currently has its anchor is still waylaid, and just as you are making your way down to the harbor, you do see that gathered up at the docks there are a couple of familiar, well, uniformed individuals. You don't recognize them from anywhere, but they are wearing the familiar blue, white, and gray.
Is this another uniform to add to my collection?
It is not another uniform to add to your collection.
This is a mercenary's uniform, a very renowned one. So stealing it would have very bad implications if you were caught.
If I were caught. That's the key word right there.
If it's good.
if it's good.
So
All the fucking memes.
So as this happens, you do run into the captain once again. And he's delighted to make sure that you're there. However, you have to pay first. He wants to make sure it's in his hand before you get on the ship.
And of course, Rose just hands him a bag of gold.
All right, you hand it to him. He opens it up and counts through it, seals it, and attaches it to a portion of his leather belt. Well, I believe your payment is duly noted. The ferry shall have you over quick enough, as the rest of my crew is currently having their leave.
I see.
And you see as these small ferry boats that are currently going to and fro the ship. Over the course of the next about 45 minutes to an hour, you are loaded onto the ship, and you are led down to the small bunks that you are allowed on the ship. They're nothing large. It is essentially a relatively small, maybe 8 foot by 8 foot room that is essentially 2 hammocks stapled to a wall with 2 thick banded iron straps.
Niram, I'm sorry, you're getting bottom bunk.
That's fine.
The hammocks themselves aren't actually too uncomfortable, but you guys are definitely not used to sleeping in these, so you do have a couple of rolling stumbles as you're trying to figure out just how to sleep in these.
Meanwhile, Rowan is like a cat. You can sleep on any surface.
Yeah, Rowan, you just kind of curl up into it and find yourself asleep, yes.
Is Rowan a non-Newtonian fluid? Just like
Like a
slopes
cat, he's
down,
a
yeah.
non-Newtonian fluid, yes. So, as this happens, eventually the ship does depart as the anchor is brought up, and you finally feel yourselves on your way as the creaking and groaning of the wood and natural sail of the ship immediately takes off through the causeway.
Rowan doesn't follow the fucking written laws of how to live in a society. Do you think he's gonna follow the laws of anatomy?
As the ship departs, you start realizing just as the days drone on, just as you're riding the ship and embarked upon it, you start realizing why people start disliking ship travel on the causeway. It is exceptionally rough, and the ship is consistently rocking to heavy degrees, and it is those of you who are used to being on land, which is all of you, find yourself incredibly seasick. I'll have all of you go ahead and make me a Constitution saving throw. Actually,
Now,
no, check. This will be a con check.
damn it. You just halved my modifier.
I feel like I feel like
Well,
Niram
doesn't...
is the most likely to win.
13.
Yeah, you say that, and I roll a nat 20. So that's a 23.
Niram, you have a gut and stomach of steel and iron. Even though you feel seasick, you have managed to stave and fight off any feeling of wanting to void yourself into the causeway. The rest of you
I
aren't
don't
so
know.
lucky. As the travel goes on and on, you guys find yourselves pretty much wasting away on this ship. Even though you're only traveling for about 3 days, those 3 days are torture. As the ship incessantly rocks side to side and even trying to sleep over them, it's impossible.
Hey, I could just cast sleep again.
No.
Would it work?
This time, no one is going to wake you up, I feel.
So in the days that we're sailing, I guess
How many days would it be that we're sailing? Cause
As I said, you guys would be the first day you sail off, and over the course of the next 3, so you guys would be sailing for about 4 days.
I would say I would want to try to do more alchemy, but
No,
harder.
no, no. It's going to be impossible for you.
Now, what locks are on this ship?
Oh my
Plenty.
gosh.
Everybody on a ship always locks their things.
Excellent, excellent. Some practicing.
Go ahead and make me a stealth check at disadvantage.
Could I do this at night?
There's such things as ship watches and fire watches. There are always people on a ship keeping an eye out, especially for thieves.
First roll is a 12. Second roll is an 11, which brings me up to 20.
Okay.
What?
He's not even trying to steal. He's just trying to like open it, then just close it again.
They don't know that. As you are prowling about the ship, very quietly, almost cat-like, in your escapade. It is, even for you, it's hard to keep yourself calm and collected with the feeling and sensation going on in your stomach and your head. Just consistently, the rocking won't stop. Everything is constantly moving, and trying to walk about is essentially like trying to walk on a platform that continuously changes its position every 30 seconds. Eventually, you do manage to make it to one of the other crewmen's doors that seems to be a bit, well, ajar, and you slowly push it open, and you find that the two crewmen inside are currently asleep. And you do see the two lock boxes that are currently serving as their footlockers that are kind of bolted down against the far side of the room.
Rowan just like squints at them, looks to the boxes, looks to the crew members, back to the boxes. And once again, the crew members. May I cast sleep on the sleeping creatures?
You may.
All right. Here we go. I mean, I'm just gonna reroll all of these. Here we go. That's 36.
36. One of the crewmen just kind of like, you hear him, and he stops snoring. The other one you hear continue on his pattern of breathing. So one of them is in a deep sleep, the other one is sleeping.
I'm gonna cast it again.
He
This time
really wants him to be asleep.
Go for it.
Let me remove these. Alright, I'm casting it at second level this time. That is 20.
Nope.
They really are built different. I mean, granted, I rolled 4 ones. He's going to try once more.
How many
You're
spell
wasting
slots
another
are you
spell.
using?
I know!
Go
31!
Eventually, the snoring and the incessant noise being created by a crewman trying to sleep his way through without, well, any caution or need be, you immediately find that, thankfully, he is now asleep. Magically.
Rowan's going to get to work on opening those boxes.
Go ahead and make me a lockpicking check. This will be a dexterity check based off of your sleight of hand proficiency.
Alright. So I just add my sleight of hand.
Yes.
Math. 23.
Lock's not very difficult. I mean, it's a simple lock. It's meant to just keep out basic thieves. So, yeah, not too hard.
Ain't nothing basic about Rowan. He's the most extra bitch he can be. Alright. He opens it. He closes it, and he's going to lockpick it closed again.
Okay, go ahead and make me another lockpick check.
24.
That you lock it.
And he's out of there.
Okay, you slip your way out. As the days pass by and you find yourselves moving on, eventually what seems to be a black-rocked shore seems to greet you as you all pass by. you start realizing just why this place is called the Black Hallows, as you see many of the trees and vegetation look to be twisted and bent. As you continue looking and watching along the coastline, as you start getting closer and closer to it, you start picking out small fishing villages here and there. Most of them look maybe about as large as 5 or 6 buildings, and that's about it. And as you start watching more intently, you start realizing that most of these buildings and places look, well, either dilapidated or, well, you're not entirely sure, especially from this distance. But as you start coasting by and the ship eventually stops by one of the larger fishing villages that you see, eventually the captain comes down to you as you're all waiting there on the deck. Well, this is where we sadly must part for you. We're continuing northward, but you said you were here for the Hollows, so we deliver you to the Hollows.
Well,
Zorm nods. Will we be able to borrow a longboat to the shore?
I mean, I think we're gonna have to buy it since, we're not gonna come back to pick up a boat.
The captain nods.
Okay. How much?
As you are paying for your round trip here, do know we plan on coming back here at this location in about 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay.
Should make plenty of time.
Yeah.
So we thank you for the.
The transport that you require, at least one of the ships, say 5 gold.
Zorm will pull it out. Yeah,
Okay.
pull out and give 5 gold to the captain.
All right. You hand it to him, looks over to the crew. These gentlemen require a landing ship. See to it they get one. And you see as the men give Abrazan a kind of nod, some of them give a structured salute. And eventually you start seeing, as brought up from one of the cargo bays in a large hole that seems to be removed as the grates of wood are heavily removed. And you see as pulled out looks to be a simple-looking long rowboat. And you see as it's eventually hoisted over the side, and just as it's brought down, a rope ladder is run down to it.
Thank you for your assistance, Captain. Fair winds to you.
May the cold not get to your crops.
Zorm kind of smiles at that, and he's going to make his way to get to the longboat.
Okay. As you all slowly start departing, getting yourselves down, the boat itself is more than able and capable of carrying all of your weight. As you eventually... Yeah. I mean, this thing is meant to carry even cargo, so yeah.
Well, here we are. Time for a nice little, well, not little. It's gonna probably be the longest fucking hike of my life.
So, who's going to start rowing?
I guess Zorm will help.
Maybe
with all his
Rowan.
Uh,
That's,
no, Naren will take rowing duty.
Okay. So as you take the rowing duty. Just as Zorm is trying to sit down and take one of the paddles, near him, you just kind of put your hand in his face and push him to sit down, and then you take the rowing position.
May I cast Enhance Ability onto Narum?
Yeah. Well, would you like to enhance on him?
I mean, I guess Strength? Whatever
Okay.
would help him with rowing.
Mostly strength.
Yeah.
So I believe enhance ability gives him advantage on all strength checks or strength-related checks.
Yeah, Strength checks and doubles his or as it doubles his carrying capacity.
Okay. So, as this happens and near him, everybody loads onto it, and Clyde shuffles his way down and sits beside you. All of you kind of look at each other as Niram grabs onto these heavy wooden paddles, and immediately you start seeing as he throws his back into it. And as the paddles go through and impact into the water, and you guys immediately start pushing off. Niram, go ahead and make me an athletics check at advantage.
All right, let me get a second d20 out so I don't have to roll twice. Let's take one that isn't sorted. I would like to not use my Magic the Gathering counters. There we go, there's one. That is a 16 plus just strength or athletics?
Athletics, I said.
Alright, that's a 22 then. 16 plus 6.
Without any hint of hesitation, straining, or even just pain, you see as Niram is powering his way through this, as his muscles just ripple from underneath his scaled flesh. And you see as he just powers his way through all of this with you. And you guys actually make it to the shore in just under 10 minutes.
Neat. Well,
Oh, would you look at that?
where do we go now?
As you pull into it, I will go ahead and say this as I welcome you to the small coastal town of Marin's Eve. As the blackened shores of the Black Hallows Peninsula and grounds immediately embraces your longship, the docks you find yourself on seem to have been made of the same wood as these blackened trees that look withered and broken. The twisted composition of this wood, and you see there are multiple knots and bends to it. Not much here looks to be of a simple or at least natural construction. You look over and see that Marin's Eve is a relatively decently sized village. Maybe about 30 to 40 buildings around here, as you see a relatively small population. The multitude of boats that you see look around, and you see once again the same blackened wood with bits and pieces of shining metal that kind of glimmer through, have been dragged up onto the shores or onto the docks. As you all arrive, there is someone who does come by and meet you. It looks to be a relatively older man, maybe about late 40s, early 50s. The kind of scruffy grayish-white beard that peppers over his chin. It looks like he's missing a couple of teeth, but he still looks like an old man that you could, well, as strong as he could be. Welcome, travelers. I see you arrive on a familiar ship to us. What be your quarry here?
Just on business for a particular person.
You watch as he nods. Ah, very well. It's not my business to pry into the nature of others. I'm Jorbel Crane. I am the main headsman of this dock.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Jorbel. Gorbule. Jorbel.
Normal crane, as in like, the things you use
bird?
to. Yeah.
Crane. Krane. Crane. I welcome you to the humble town of Marin's Eve. You don't seem to have the colors on you, so I suppose you aren't Falkenberg's men.
No.
Is that good or is that bad?
You don't know.
Yeah. He's asking that like just to the rest of like,
Okay.
is that good? Is that bad? Are we?
Falkenberg is one of the main protecting consorts in this area to the north. His mercenary company spans far south as Feldrake and Einwick.
Damn.
We are just a bound of traveling misfits.
Well, see to it you possibly get yourself some colors. Most people here in the north don't respect anyone who proclaims himself a fighter if they don't. Be wary of that.
Duly noted. Although, regarding our colors, it would be very hard for me and my other draconic friend to match up with everyone else. He says this in like a joking tone.
You get a kind of a lighthearted chuckle from Jorbil. Right you are. If you are in need of supplies in case you have need for travel, you can find some. We possibly have some of the, well, not best, but it is the longest lasting smoked fish. So if you need it, the rations are yours.
Thank you.
Once again,
take a look around.
welcome to our humble town. And even as you're speaking, he's continuing to speak, and he turns around and kind of merges back into the small crowd that overtakes the docks.
Interesting. Shall we take a look around, everyone?
I mean, sure.
Get our bearings, and then make sure that we get the sea leg out of us.
Yeah, the sea lag is pretty bad. Like, even as you're stepping onto it, you're immediately like kind of feeling weak at the knees. You're like, fuck, as everything is still like shifting and bobbing around you. And it is not a gentle sensation. So pretty much you guys are walking, and you pretty much walk like Jack Sparrow at this point. You're like, but not with his grace.
Yeah. That is actually a legitimate thing that happens to people. And it's funny. Yeah, I guess Zorm's gonna just try walking out his sea leg while he's getting his bearings on the area.
It takes a while, but you are eventually able to get yourself out over the course of the next few hours, just as you take a very slow and meaningful time to just take yourself.
Rowan is just gonna look for a bakery.
Oh my goodness.
As ever.
Make an investigation check for me.
We will never be able to go anywhere with Rowan without him looking for a bakery.
That's a nat one.
There is no bakery.
Stands in front of a bakery. I don't see a bakery, man. I just never seem to find one.
You are looking around, and it is
Just imagine
barren.
he just walks up to a person, right? And instead of like properly asking or like where the bakery is, he's just like, "We're sweet. Where?
We're baked. We're
We're
baked.
baked. We're baked."
We're baked.
You walk up to this poor individual. It looks to be a man maybe about mid to late 20s, and you just wear bake, and you just immediately take it off guard as you currently walking up to almost like foaming at the mouth. Wear bake.
Does Nerve see this?
This poor guy pulls out what looks to be some sort of holy symbol
Oh
of
my
what looks to
God.
be a white gauntlet,
Please.
and he just like holds it out as the small chain that it's connected to, and you're like holding it out to you as you're just currently walking up to him, foaming and frothing at the mouth.
Please tell
Wear
me.
bake!
Please tell me Narum hears this.
You are all watching this.
Narum just walks up. Oh, yeah, don't mind him. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I think he's on withdrawal.
See, this guy is just staring at you, still holding up his
Like,
little
Narum
religious
is just
pendant.
like pushing Rowan out of the way. Just like, don't, please, I'm very sorry. He's a bit rowdy.
As he's being pushed away, he just like looks over his shoulder, staring straight into that man's eyes.
Narum's just like looking at Rowan. What
As
the
you're trying
fuck,
to
man?
apologize for him, you're trying to push him behind you, and the guy just immediately like he drops the symbol and just runs. He just runs.
Wow, great first impression, dude.
Out of curiosity, can Zorm see what kind of religious symbol it was?
Go ahead and make me a religion check.
Oh my god. I'm sorry that you slew me. We're back. We're happy.
We're back.
That's gonna be in my mind for the rest of the night. I'm just gonna be thinking, I'm really hungry right now. We're back. So that's a +5. That's a 22.
22. You do know this. This is a pendant or a small necklace denoting the god Torm. Torm.
Clearly not a god of pastries.
What are? Oh my gosh. And would I happen to know what they are the god of?
I mean, you've done your fair share of studying, and you are also well, Torm is known as one of the gods of battle. He's known as a warrior god. He is known for being, he's known for being the god of duty, loyalty, and righteousness. Especially that of law as well. Torm and Tyr have a very resounding effect and a very large popularity with mercenary orders or even knighthoods.
Okay. So Zorm's gonna pick up the symbol.
No, he didn't drop it. Like it was attached to his neck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a
I
necklace.
thought he legitimately dropped it on the ground and ran.
No, well, I mean, his prayer technically worked. He was like, "Fucking help me!" And some giant dragonborn came over and went, "I'm sorry," and starts like getting him out of the way. I mean, technically, his prayer was answered.
Fair enough.
But as Rowan is currently seething and frothing at the mouth in Nirum's arms, we're bake! We're bake! As this is currently going on, and the rest of you are just watching this happen as your bard currently has an existential crisis of bakery goods. We'll go ahead and end it there as we've hit our 2 hours.
I feel like we need to have some sort of I need to come up with a spell. I need to create spell so that way I can create baked goods.
If I could say we have anything for merchandise, it would be a T-shirt saying "Wear Bake" with its. If we had anything.
The Screaming Dragonborn.
We're bake.
The Screaming Bard Tavern. Wear Bake.
Oh my god.
We're bake. We're happy. It's like those monkeys on the talk show. We're bake.
Or bake.
But as we go ahead and find ourselves ending today's session, I would go ahead and say to those of you on Twitch, hello there. How are you? As beautiful as ever I see. I know it's not exactly something entirely eventful to watch, but I do hope you all enjoyed our little escapade here with our adventuring group as they get further and further onward towards their quest of hunting down medicine for Lord Brokenridge and the Amber Forest.
And baked goods. Don't forget that.
Well, actually, you're near one of the greatest bakeries known in the Khmer provinces.
Don't
But you
say
need to find out
that.
about it.
Why did you
Don't
mention
say
that?
That's because it's not. I know it's gonna. He's gonna egg him
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
He's gonna need to know what it is, so I know he's gonna probably message me about it. It's to say no. But for those of you who are still here and around, if you did stay throughout the whole thing, I will say, wow, I'm impressed and thankful that you managed to stick around for even all of our little antics here. But I will go ahead and say, if you did stick around for that long, perhaps consider dropping us a follow. We'd love to have you come by once again. And if you really, really enjoyed it, I mean, I can't say much, but this beautiful man Behemoth here, he's always sexy. Could you throw some subscriptions at him? Maybe throw a little bit of money
at him.
Yeah, throw some money at him.
No, the only thing getting thrown around right now are links to, first off, if you do want to, you can join the Discord to find out when streams happen, because I know that Twitch notifications are usually pretty trash about it. So, keep an eye out on the announcements channel, and also sometimes on the self-promo channel, because there are some other beautiful people who do a lot of interesting stuff. Also, if you do happen to want to catch up on this, I don't know if you have too much time, I guess, or if you need something to listen to, here you go. Here's all the previous sessions that were streamed. It is not quite the beginning of the campaign, but it is close enough. So you won't miss too much, I suppose. If you have any questions, well, the only thing they really missed was the first almost team kill. I think. Was that in the first stream session?
The first thing that happened was you almost made Ryoka into the one boob wonder.
Yeah, the one.
And after that, we started streaming.
Right, we did it. We
And
did
that's when
skip
the one
over the
boob
team
wonder
kill.
started
Yeah.
becoming an inside joke.
Yep, and you wouldn't stop. You just wouldn't shut up about
Everybody
it.
else wouldn't stop. I was the one who was like, okay,
No.
fine.
Yeah, I know. It's just still Jesus. That bit ran for a while.
All of this, I will go ahead and hand it off to Behemoth so he can go over what is going on with the rest of his stuff. So I will see all you dudes the next time we hold some D&D, which will be next Saturday at our usual time of about 2 o'clock p.m. East, about 8 o'clock European Standard Time, or 8 o'clock German Standard, however you want to say it, because Deutschland.
Excuse me.
Nothing.
You know, I'm just going to take over here.
Ciao.
All right, so again, thanks for watching. I'm going to try and stream some Rise. I've been meaning to. I've just gotten caught up in farming the game because, holy shit, it's fun. But yeah, I'm just going to real quick, end the stream. And I will host a acquaintance of mine. I couldn't really call them a friend. I don't hang out enough for that. But yeah, Solid Plasma is holding a subathon for their 3rd year as a freaking Twitch streamer, which is incredible. And they're doing a lot of fun stuff with a lot of other friends of mine who are also hanging out. So, yeah. I'm going to host them. Hope you enjoy.